There are billions on the line. Any one of them might have killed Danny. Now that we've shone a torch on these cockroaches, they will scatter, make mistakes, and lead us to the truth.
What is up, Nerd Detectives? Welcome to another episode of Nerds at Night. I am your host, Blake Money Blake Weather, the world's okayest detective. Your words, not mine. And we are talking all about
Details matter.
This episode right here is dedicated to all of y'all, all the fans, everybody that's shown love, and everybody that's commented over the last week. I wanted to get to your comments before the finale and run through any last minute theories that y'all had, that I had, and just sort of, again, we're going to throw everything at the wall. We're going to see what sticks in less than 24 hours. Hopefully y'all see this episode before the finale. If you don't, you watch it after. We can all look back and have a good laugh, or you look back and watch it after. Maybe we predict some things. I don't know, but I'm ready to have fun with all of y'all. So let's get right into y'all's comments right now. Our first comment comes in from Alyssa James 2973. I don't think the bomb is real. If this is a Victor Sams thing, why poison anybody, then blow it all up? I also think Anna killed Catherine. Oh my goodness. I've been thinking about this all weekend, not the whole show, but the theory of, well, Anna found Catherine and she started crying and yada yada, but like, does it make sense if anybody else killed Catherine? Like, did she just stumble upon her? She's the first person there. We always talk about, right, like motive, opportunity. What's the opportunity? She had the opportunity. Anna had the opportunity. What's the motive? Angry with her mother for not telling her Llewellyn was her father, or something else more nefarious. That absolutely makes a whole bunch of sense, and it could be a separate from the whole Victor Sams thing. It's just like a one-off murder. I don't know, man. I'm about it though. I kind of like that. I kind of dig that theory. And also too, this is a really interesting thought. The bomb, if it's not real, like, right, like, why would you poison it? Or just start poisoning people and then be like, well, I'm going to poison all these individual people, but also I'm just going to kill everybody. Why not just kill everybody? Why you got to take the time to poison somebody? This absolutely, I love Alyssa James 2973. This is an absolute great comment, because that absolutely makes sense. Like that's yes. Like, why take the time? Why make the effort? Why do it? Oh man, I love, we're starting off strong tonight. Our next comment comes in from Rick Marshall 345. He's written a bunch of comments. Shout outs to you, Rick Marshall 345. I said after the first or second episode, I thought Rufus was the killer, because to this day, they still have not shown the video he removed, which would show Imogene entering Danny's cabin, even though we know he kept it on a USB drive. Obviously, Teddy later confessed to that crime, and now other deaths have occurred that have been attributed to her or others. But I keep coming back to the removed video. For some reason, the show is still not allowing us to see. I still think Rufus is a big bad, and there was a throwaway line in the most recent episode which emphasizes this to me. Imogene asks him why he does his job, which in her mind is investigating crimes, and he says, for the money. She didn't call him out on it, and the line is quickly forgotten, but it makes me even more convinced now that Rufus is Victor and behind everything. We shall see. I think when you said Teddy, I think you meant Winnie, but I think we all know what you meant, right? She admitted to the murder. But like, what if it wasn't? Right? Like, what if in that 7 whatever minutes and whatever seconds, like, Rufus went in there and just murked him, bro? Like right after, right, Imogene went in there. There's been a lot of speculation that, like, possibly, what if, Rufus is the bad guy the whole time, and he's just in this big hoopla, and he's running around and pretending that, like, Victor Sams this, Victor Sams that, somebody this, somebody that, and it's him the whole time. That would be absolutely brilliant. There are Agatha Christie stories where the detective is the murderer. So, like, I don't know, but like, I'm down with anything at this point. That sounds great. Rick Marshall 345. You did say that earlier in the season. Go back a few episodes if you want to hear me read Rick's comment. But like, yeah, I do remember him saying something like that. So shout outs to you, Rick, if that does come to fruition. Our next comment comes in from Galen Frozy. I don't think Llewellyn's dead. Actually, I will walk that back a half step. He might have been poisoned, not have known it, faked his suicide, then died from the poison. So in that case, he might be dead. I guess my main point is that I think the suicide was a fake. Hildy says she has the body, so either he's dead or she's in on it. But I'm very willing to believe that Hildy was in on whatever Llewellyn was up to. I don't know. I have a thing in mysteries that when something's done in a showy way, like the argument about the watch or that dramatic suicide, it's intended to be seen by other characters and likely in order to mislead them. Maybe this is because I act in mysteries and we do focus pool moments or even travel scenes, repeat interactions multiple times around the room that the audience needs to see. So my brain, rightly or wrongly, looks at certain setups and thinks, oh, that's a focus pool. And I love this. Galen, I love this because that's why I moved Llewellyn up on my suspect board. And I did say, like, whether he's dead or not or whatever, like he just went up, and I think maybe it's not even him, but maybe it's the circumstances surrounding him jumping off the ship. It just seemed fishy when we saw it the second time. And then we saw that he wrote a note to Teddy. He spoke with Teddy, said he wasn't going to off himself. He's trying to survive for the long haul. What better way to try and survive than to make your death look a little fake, right? What if he also completely drank a different bottle of wine or fake drinking that wine, right? That's something they recently did in Saltburn. That doesn't give away something, like that doesn't give away a whole thing in Saltburn, but like something like that happens in there. Yeah, I'm down with this. And I think you have a good insider's viewpoint. If you act in mysteries and you kind of know and you see this, you might have seen something that we didn't see or didn't think to focus on. So I think this is a great point. I think overall, right, like something about the Llewellyn, him jumping off, him getting poisoned, whatever, there's something fishy about that. And it's going to come to light in the next episode, but we should be thoughtful about that going into the last few episodes. Next comment comes in from Matthew Ryan 11111. Are we to believe from the end of the episode that the small boat is now gone? Only so many people who could have taken it. Have we seen Toby since Catherine cursed him out? Also, did I imagine it, or did we hear a tase of some kind of zapping sound right before Llewellyn went overboard? We haven't seen his body. It is suspicious Anna was alone with Catherine's dead body. And is the dude who's there from Victor Sam's the same dude that Anna has been talking to on the phone? The dude who she thought was at a Little League game on one episode? So many questions. Matthew Ryan, I like this. I like this, right? Have we seen Toby since Catherine cursed him out? Because the whole Toby thing, I think that would implicate Father Toby in being Victor Sam's, like I'd been saying like a long time ago, or at least in on something, right? Like that absolutely makes sense. I had read this theory, something online, like somebody was like, did Llewellyn get tased and that's why he fell? Did anybody, hear like electrical sound or something? I didn't hear it. It wasn't in the subtitles or anything. So I don't know about that. Write in the comments if you guys think you heard something. I didn't hear it. I'm not saying anybody's crazy. It could be just a sound in the background that's like just sort of there. And it sounds like electrical. I don't know. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you guys think you heard it. Again, it is suspicious Anna was alone with Catherine's dead body. Hint, hint. Right? We talked about this. Maybe Anna offed her mom. Like that would completely, it makes sense. She's alone with the body. She's the only one there. Who else is going to be? Somebody was there that a drive by. Anna just came to be there. Like, no, bro. Like, I think it's even more finger pointing at Anna for killing her mom. And that would be interesting if Anna's even further in on this. Is another thing I've been thinking about. What if Anna is further in on this than we think? And she has been on the phone with that guy. I don't know. Maybe it is the guy who she's been having these fake conversations. Like, you're at a Little League game, hey, homie, like you need to be working or whatever. Maybe all these conversations are all fake, and it is with, Victor Sam's people. And it is with this dude that we've seen taking pictures when they were on Malta. I don't know. But like Anna being in on it, Anna having something to do with Catherine's death, I'm here for it. I'm absolutely here for it. I love that. Our next comment comes in from FinFog4590. I think the world's greatest detective became Victor Sam's after killing him. Yeah, I had seen somewhere like maybe it's like Victor Sam's is like an organization, or you got to be a head of an organization or something. That would be interesting, right? If Coatsworth hustled his way to the top, he's sort of replaced whoever's in charge of the organization and he's running it. Again, this goes into Coatsworth is the big bad theory. I'm literally not opposed to anything. None of this. You guys could throw the craziest shit at me, and I might be like, that's interesting, because you know what? This show's pulling things in a million different directions. And I will say this, I'm not opposed to anything as long as it sticks the landing. If they throw some crazy shit out there and it don't make no sense, well, I'm gonna kick this can so far down the road, even the recycling people are not going to be able to find it. Like that would be god awful, right? But I'm with the way that they're coming at it so far. So I am not opposed to this. And this actually falls in line with our earlier comment that Rufus is a bad guy. Next comment comes in from Blue Penguin 2955 on the Hildy Kira issue. It's been 18 years. The person they know is dead. They aren't going to think They are the same person. We can recognize the similarities because we see two women within half an hour of each other. When the average person recognizes another, it's not solely based on how they look, but their mannerisms, how they carry themselves, how they sound. Many celebrity impersonators just vaguely resemble a celebrity, but pull it off because of the mannerisms. The three people most familiar with her: Llewellyn started flirting with Hildy. He was infatuated with Kira. Imogene, Hildy is her rival. Got to solve it before she does. Imogene's not looking closely at Hildy. We know Imogene gets tunnel vision for what she is currently working on. Lawrence spent a lot of time with Kira, hasn't crossed paths with Hildy until episode 8. After their interaction, he thinks Imogene is Kira, possibly from having recognized Hildy as Kira. So I did make this comment, right? Like, I'm not all the way off board with it, but like the fact that nobody recognized that Hildy looks a lot like Kira, if we're saying Kira is Hildy, Hildy's Kira, she escaped, became an Interpol agent, isn't under some sort of, I don't know, witness protection, whatever, became a cop, and an international cop, whatever. That could happen. My only hang up with that was, right, like, wouldn't people recognize you? Like, wouldn't somebody say something? Wouldn't somebody be like, oh, you did this thing and it's kind of like her? And it is interesting that, like, again, nobody recognizes her. But this does make sense, right? You haven't seen somebody in like almost 20 years. You're going to kind of maybe miss some things or not recognize some things, and maybe not recognize some mannerisms, or maybe you change your mannerisms. Like, I can completely, that makes sense. And this also makes sense too. This is a great call out. Llewellyn started flirting with Hildy. Like, he was in love with Kira, starts flirting with Hildy. Like, man, maybe it's, if Hildy is Kira, he gets his fantasy fulfilled because he gets to spend a night with her, right? Like, that's great. Imogene, right? Like, we even saw when Anna was trying to tell Imogene that her father was Llewellyn, she was like, you're not paying attention to any of this, right? Because you're so focused on trying to find out if my dad killed your mom. So she didn't even, in one ear, out the other, wasn't even listening to Anna, right? And then Lawrence, you're right. Like, that is a really interesting note, that as soon as he, speaks with Hildy and he comes back and has some moments of reflection by himself, he starts to instantly be like, oh, Imogene, you're Kira. Like, whoa, all these connections, these are all great clues and they all make sense. It's not your fault. It's not any of the fans' fault. It is the show writer's fault for not enunciating that, pronouncing that a little bit more, and being like, oh yeah, right. Like, I could, just a little, drop a little bit more, of the hint spice right in there, so that way we can, okay, yeah. Like, they said this, and they're like, oh yeah, Kira used to do this, and Hildy used to. So it's just like, I would just want a little bit more. It's a show writer's fault. It's not anybody else's fault. But if you picked up on this, Blue Penguin, and you're right, and everybody else is right, man, kudos to y'all for seeing it, and not only seeing it, but believing in the theory that Kira's Hildy, Hildy's Kira, and again, that maybe in the show, right? They're not, there's 20 years, but we're able to see these flashbacks really quick and be able to pick up on these connections in a way that the characters are not. Absolutely makes sense. I'm still not opposed to it. You bring up a good case. So let's see what happens. Next comment comes in from Basquiat76. That was some episode. Stuff went down. I do love the twist about Lawrence having early stage dementia. It was in our faces the whole time, and none of us thought of it. That's a good twist. Catherine being killed, I think that was probably Anna who did it out of anger. That's 3 of us now. There's not really any obvious suspects left to who is Victor Sams. I almost feel no matter who it is, it will be disappointing. The lawyer does say he has a full file on everyone's secrets, and if he's still alive, that could mean he blackmailed the Colliers, and it's possibly even Victor Sams. So last bid before the end is the lawyers behind it all. It's not a confident bid, but it's all I got. The show has done a really good job messing with us. So the priest's son should show up briefly to remind us he's still there filming everything. What he's filmed is still going to come into play. Anna killed her mom out of anger. Llewellyn is possibly alive. Like, it was a faked scene. It was all about making sure everybody saw him, off himself where he's not. He does have all the secrets. He could be pulling all the strings right under the Colliers' noses, and they wouldn't suspect him because they think he's doing this whole other thing. That would have, if that was the case, that'd be a really cool plot twist, and I'd be here for it. I'd want to see how they executed his fake death scene. Aside from that, I'm with it. And yeah, I think we all know, right? I think we're all saying the son, that Derek has something on his phone that has to come into play in the last episode and show like, hey, here's this piece of evidence that everybody missed. But because that Derek's recording it, it's something he's recording. He's got his phone right. Yeah, but I'm talking to, and it's something he's recording behind him, or even he's walking around while they were, praying and they're talking and he's recording what people are doing. He's got something. He's recorded some bit he's gonna play, or they're gonna find his phone. I don't know, but yes, he's definitely recorded something that is going to crack the case wide. It has to. It has. If you don't, like, even though we can all see it, if you don't, that's a perfect opportunity of a wasted character that you introduced as something and then don't use them. So I feel like they have to. Next comment comes in from 117. Derek, 3 things. 1, Llewellyn was remorseful and was doing a public confession, but because he was poisoned, he lost consciousness and fell to his death. That's why Teddy says he was murdered. 2, Layla can't be a baddie since she almost died in the auto crash. Also, Layla's suspicions had her exploring the ship, possibly hiding items like rope and knives to defend herself against an attack by Victor Sams. And these hidden items will come into play as the passengers try to defend themselves against the armed men who took over the ship and force the passengers to play, quote, survivor. Now to the problem. The timeline for Celia Chun's story does not work. She was in her early 30s when Llewellyn paid her off. He was older than her. Now Celia Chun is in her 70s, 80s, or possibly 90s. The actress who plays her is 97 years old. Why is Llewellyn in the present not older than Celia? Is this a script oversight, or is Celia's story part fake? Is, quote, her story really her daughter's story? Why would she lie? Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense, right? Like he could, like, we're now saying this theory. Now we're saying that Llewellyn is dead and he lost consciousness because he was poisoned and fell to his death. I don't know. I think it's shown to us that, like, more or less, like, he jumped, like he wasn't like, and another thing, just like passed and just like fell back. I don't know if it was that. Again, in the comments, if you see something different, let me know. But that could be, maybe Teddy thought it was that way, and that's why she said he was murdered and he didn't off himself. I really didn't understand that. She's like, no, he was murdered. Like, nah, girl, we all saw him jump off. Like, he wasn't like, I'm poisoned and that's why I'm jumping off. I'm not letting the poison, kill me. And we didn't find him poisoned. We didn't find him poisoned and dead. So just like, it's a big leap to say there, Teddy. That's a big leap, and that's why I kind of had a problem with that. And I will say this: Layla can't be a baddie since she almost died. I get it. Like, that was one thing where I was like, man, it's suspicious because Layla's doing all the side character stuff and got all these items hidden. I do think I'm glad that you think too. The rope and the knives are going to come into play, and sort of they're going to have this Home Alone type style, where, like, we're going to fight the bad guys, sort of guerrilla style, and they can use those weapons that Layla sort of tucked away because she was anticipating Victor Sams coming forward. That really makes sense, right? And I mean, I think for a second I thought she was a bad character, because, like, think about this. Like, let's think about this. The person who is the most paranoid creating this, like, she's creating this character. Like, if I'm the most paranoid about everything, nobody's going to suspect me, right? And what if the meeting that she had with Keith before he died, or Danny before he died, like, what if it went a different way? What if it was about something? What if Keith approached her and was like, bro, I know you're Victor Sams, and, like, you better, like, I'm about to, what I'm saying, like, release some dirt on you. Like, I know, you've just been getting in with the Colliers because, you're trying to get more information, or, something, like, right? Like, she's already snuck her way into being in the Collier family. She has access to a whole bunch more information. She's just aware of a lot of stuff. She's in right places, right? Like, oh no, man. That's why I was like, I'm still a little suspicious of her. But, I get it. Like, she almost died in the auto crash. How many stories do we see where, like, oh, this character this bad thing almost happened, but it didn't, because they're the bad guy. They can't die, right? Like, that just it. So I still have my suspicion nerve is still it's a little tingly, but it could be because there's nothing nefarious, and there's still a lot of unanswered questions about Layla that need to be answered in this next episode for me to fully believe, like, she's 100% in. And maybe it's just as simple as, like, she was hiding those weapons. She knew something was going to happen. Hey guys, I got all y'all's back. I've known this whole time that probably something was going to happen, or figured something, because I'm very paranoid, right? Okay, cool. Boom. Down on my, down on my threatometer, right? But, like, for now, yeah, she's a little high. And now the problem with the whole Celia Chun, I broke down in the comment. I don't know if I want to do it right now. The whole how old everybody should be, but I will say I thought it was an interesting character choice to still keep Llewellyn when he's supposed to be 20-ish years old, and presenting Celia Chun with the money and the contract to be like, hey, just here's some hush money, sign this contract. They still had him played by the same character. They could have picked a younger character, but I think that was more of an artistic choice for us to still be like, hey, we know it was Llewellyn when he was younger who had her sign the contract, even though they'd be like, he'd be 60-ish and she would presently on the ship be 70-ish. So he would still be younger. And they could have picked a different actor and like somehow had a line like, I'm Llewellyn, and here, you're going to sign this contract. They could have done that, but they did it for an artistic reason. I don't know what it is. And maybe it's just as simple as like, you guys know what's going on, right? Like Llewellyn was there. He was there while this contract was signed, which makes it even more suspicious. And we all think he's still alive because maybe something else happened. I don't know. Next comment comes in from Allie88350. Theories Catherine was being blackmailed or took over the blackmail from Lawrence. Lawrence called in the hit on Imogene's mom. Catherine killed Lawrence, not sure why. Victor Sams, whoever they are, planned on not letting anyone on that boat get out alive from the get-go. So Catherine was being blackmailed. I think we referenced this, right? Like she could have been the one who was being blackmailed, and it wasn't Lawrence the whole time, and she could have been paying blackmail money. Lawrence called the hit on Imogene's mom. I think we figured that out in the last episode, and I think maybe you're saying that like it was a legit statement that he said. Whereas I kind of question it, like, right? Like, did he have something that was either one, or did he like sort of have something to do with it and like try to like, hey, I'm going to throw a hit. Oh, actually, I don't want the hit. Oh, they're still going to do it. Like, I don't know. Like, there still might be another layer there. But yeah, you could absolutely be right. Lawrence was just it at the end of the day. Catherine killed Lawrence. Not sure why. I think you maybe mean Llewellyn. And we don't obviously know why she poisoned him. We have no idea. Maybe she was fed up with Llewellyn shit. Like, I think anybody on that ship would be at this point, right? Like, he talks a lot, he complains a lot, he's a smart ass. Like, just put some poison in his wine and call it end of a day for him. Yeah, we need to figure out. That's a big question that we need to answer this next episode. Why did she do it? Why was that? Why did that happen in the first place? Even if it has Catherine's name all over it, and it wasn't her, like, why did she feel the need? Why did somebody feel the need to poison Llewellyn? Victor Sams, whoever they are, planned. Yeah, not letting anyone get off. Yeah, putting the bomb at the bottom of the ship. You're definitely anticipating. You don't want anybody to get off of that boat. And then this goes back to the first theory that we talked about. What if the bomb is fake, right? Because like, why poison people if you're just gonna like have a bomb and blow up people anyways? So yeah, like this is interesting because maybe the goal was just to make sure that particular people were offed in a certain order, and the bomb wasn't there the whole time, right? So I think that I don't. Okay, now we're getting somewhere because now I'm thinking the bomb wasn't there the whole time, so maybe things have not gone according to plan. Whereas before you could just poison people one, but now as the onion is unraveling, right, and that the layers are getting deeper, whoever Victor Sams is like, bro, now we're just going to kill this whole project. Everybody on here's got to go. So we got to put the bomb down there. And that absolutely makes sense because now they don't plan on letting, I think that wasn't always the plan, right? I think the plan was to let people get out of there, off who you need to. But now because things have changed and the temperature has changed and there's been more investigation and more things revealed as to like who Victor Sams is or further back in Imogene's past. Like now you're like, well, y'all know too much. So y'all all got to go. This is crazy because if you put the bomb on the ship and you blow up the whole ship, you're blowing up the whole server mainframe. What? He's going to blow up his whole server mainframe? Does that mean he has another one somewhere else? Now I'm beginning to think this bomb thing, it can't be real, right? It can't. Because why would you blow up your whole server mainframe? Do you already have it set up somewhere else? Like that probably took a long time. It's probably got a lot of information. It's his whole operation. No. All right, man. All right. I'm going to go with either that bomb's not big enough to do that. You've got to clear the servers out somehow, some way, or that bomb is not real, man. But the threat of not letting other people get off the ship, that's a pretty big threat though. So I don't know, man. I'm starting to think about all kind of crazy things. I'm just excited for the next episode. Y'all got me excited. And finally, our last comment from Matthew Ryan 11111. Catherine, oh, this is the whole quote. I'm gonna let this play right here. Catherine to Anna, I gave you everything: a last name that opens doors, a future of your choosing, the power to fall in love and screw it up, and to have whatever life you want. I made a promise to God, and I kept it. I held this family together. Catherine to Toby. I'm gonna let that play right now.
And Toby? Fuck you.
That was one of my favorite moments of the series. That was hilarious. That was a hilarious moment, right? She just turns to him and just a very simple FU, right? Love it. Love it. Yeah, I thought I'd end this on a bit of a laugh because, I mean, we could get serious with a lot of these theories. We did say a lot tonight, right? But no matter what we said, some of these things will come to pass, or something close to them will come to pass. Will it be Victor Sams is Rufus Coatsworth? Will it be Anna did kill her mom? Will it be Llewellyn is still alive somehow, or this is part of his plan and he's Victor Sams, or there's more to his death than really meets the eye? Is it Hildy is Kira's Hildy and she's in on some stuff and she's doing things? Is the bomb thing a real threat? Will the weapons that have been hidden by Layla, will those come into play somehow? We got a lot of unanswered questions. We've got a lot of theories around them, though. And I always want to thank every single one of y'all for taking time over the last week to drop a comment, have an interaction with me. This has been a hell of a ride. It's been so much fun. And I'm glad I got to hear a couple of y'all's thoughts before the finale. Hopefully, again, y'all get a chance to see this before y'all watch the finale. And stay tuned Wednesday morning when I drop my episode talking all about the final 2 episodes of Death and Other Details. I want to thank y'all so much for if y'all participated. Thank y'all. If y'all commented, liked on anything, shared it, told a friend to tell a friend. Thank y'all so much. I just want to thank everybody for taking time to watch these fun videos over this past season. It's been so great. And I am so excited for the finale, and I hope y'all are too. So again, I still want to hear from y'all prior to the finale. So feel free to write a comment or feel free to reach out to me, Money Blake, whether on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, anywhere social media is. That's where I am. I don't have enough words to say how excited I am to see if we got anything right from tonight or throughout any of the comments or any of the theories that we've had throughout the season. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in. And as always, if you're watching this morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time it is, I do appreciate you. I can't say that enough. And until the next and last episode of Death and Other Details, I will see you. Peace.